Omni. There was like 20,000, 17,000 ministers there. And an Indian stood up. Indian from the Midwest. And he looked at him. And he came to a microphone. And he started giving a testimony. And he talked about accurately, factually, what the white folk had done to his folk. You ever checked the history out? It ain't good. It ain't good. Now, I want you to understand something out here right off the bat. Let me see if we can get this straight. My grandmother was full-blooded Indian, okay? My great-grandmother. My great-grandmother was full-blooded Indian. I got a little bit of that blood in me, whatever that is. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this, that Indian man stood in front of all of us folks up there in a packed house at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, and he started talking about what the white man had done to his family down through the years. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was embarrassing. It was sad. It was bad. But then he wound up stopping. And he started weeping. And he said, but if those white men had not come, I would have never heard about Jesus Christ. Woo! He said, I'm glad they came. They heard folks, they did wrong, but they told the truth. And the truth is, Jesus is the Savior. Amen? Amen. And he stood there in front of thousands of us guys, and he told us, he said, that those white folks back here did me wrong. But they brought the truth of the gospel to it, and they shared it with us. And therefore, that guy stood there and with tears on his face, told us he was thankful. Oh, my goodness. What's our problem? What's our problem? I like what Gabbo said, and I'm telling you again, go Google it. Head coach, Clemson football. Used phone. He said our problem is sin. Oh, and then he comes to it. That ain't politically correct. He said it, and he was right. The problem is a sin problem. Selfishness. Me, mine, I want this, I want that. That's the problem. Sin. Sin. I like what Dr. R. Lee said back in 1975 when Susan and I met him up there in Atlanta, Georgia. He preached a sermon on God hates sin. What happened to that? That was good. And he went into the series of points as to why God hates sin. And it, boy, he's just a great preacher. And he pointed out, well, our God hates sin. Your sins, my sin, it ain't a game, it ain't a joke, it ain't to be laughed at. Sin put Christ on the cross. And he who knew no sin became sin so that you and I could become the righteousness of God. Amen? That's it. God hates sin because of what it did to all the stuff. And I mean, this past week I got kind of stirred up on restudying that sermon and that thought and trying to keep myself in the right perspective. And I realized, man, sin is the problem. I'm commanded to love the sinner. Amen. You are commanded to love me. I mean, you are. That's just it. And he said, you gotta like me. But you are, it is demanded of our God and Savior that we love one another. Ow! And that's what this is right here. This is the commandment. And it says that the great commitment to that great commandment is what we're doing, church. A great commitment. I mean going above and beyond. Second mile, third mile, on down the road. Realizing that even when we don't agree on whatever issue, we're still commanded to love one another. How? And whenever God's Word gets to the place when it begins to try to describe what this love is supposed to be like, then it's a double out. You got your Bible? I put it in the bulletin for you. What these verses in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Last Sunday we looked at verses 1, 2, and 3, and we talked about the fact that if you don't have love, you don't have anything. You just ain't got it, friend. You're out of it. Sad, sorry, but if you don't have love, according to verses 1, 2, and 3 in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, you have nothing. And it uses the word nothing as the last word in verse 2, the last word in verse 3. Nothing. Nothing. If you don't have love, you have nothing. And remember that I tried to wind up that sermon and making this comment. I'm not really sure because it needs to be declared here. Is this you and yourself loving everybody else? Or is this everybody or somebody out there loving you? You do know we can love other folks and them not love us back. That happens. That happens. But if we don't have any love, we have nothing. Nothing. Now hold on. Let's pick up a verse 4. Love suffereth long. Whoa. How? Anybody feel like you've been there? Tony Evans years ago was preaching a sermon and he pointed out that on one occasion a man from his church came to him for marital counseling. And said the guy talked to Brother Tony about what he should do and how he should do it. Tony talked to him about how he should love his wife, how he should treat his wife, how he should act around his wife, and all these different things to prove to his wife that he loved her. And a couple of weeks later, maybe 3 or 4 weeks later, this man came back to Brother Tony and said, "Oh, Brother Tony, I did what you said. I did all those things you said do. I told my wife I love her. I've shown my wife I love her. I did things for my wife to prove I love her. But Brother Tony, she's crucifying me. She's crucifying me." And Brother Tony looked at him and said, "Congratulations." And he looked at Brother Tony and said, "Huh?" He said, "You want to be like Jesus, did you?" Yeah, well, love suffereth long. Now I got some of you may be sitting here in front of me with a different translation other than King James, which I use most of the time. And some of those other translations, instead of saying suffereth long, we use the word patient. Ow. Anybody got that on the thin version? Patience, it runs thin in my life. Not yours, okay, yeah. Patience is tough. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. You want to know what patience is? It's them folks that's over right across the hall right there in that nursery room. And whenever 12 o'clock rolls around and they know it's 12 o'clock, them little youngins, I don't know, they can't read time yet, but they know it's 12 o'clock. Time to us have a fit. Let's go. You know, let's raise a little sand in here. Yeah, and the little babies, you know, just do their little thing. And I don't know how many times, probably I've been fussed at more in my life as a minister about people coming out of the nursery at, well, tonight at 12 o'clock, and letting me know, Brother Dale, you know, it's kind of long if you keep it a little shorter. Patience. Patience. That's tough. It really is. But now it says love. And then, you know, there again, if you're looking at the King James Version, it says charity. And once again, the New International or the New King James or just most all of the other versions will wind up saying that it's the word charity is the word love. And that's what they should have put there. In my opinion, I really believe that. They should have used the word love when they were writing this in our English language. But it says, love suffereth long, and love is kind. Ow! Somebody ever tell you they love you? And at the same time, they're being ugly to you. There's a particular actor on TV. He's got a system. And I like the detective stuff, okay? And he made a comment. And one of his rules is, if somebody gives you a sucker punch when you ain't looking, and then they look at, oh, I'm sorry. You know what his rule said? Don't forgive them. They ain't sorry. They did it on purpose. And I have to agree with him. I do. Oh, no, you gotta be kind. Yeah, somebody's trying to be kind to you. At least they say it with their mouth, and then they treat you like dirt. That is not kind. It's not kindness. No. Love is genuinely kind. It's an attitude of kindness. Yeah? Love not only is kind, but love envieth not. Envieth not. You ever envy anybody? Oh, come on. Yes, you have. I know I have. That guy that has that bigger car, faster car, or that better gun, or whatever, and you see them and they got all this stuff, and you wish you had some of that stuff. And we envy. That's envy. And so love does not envy what somebody else has got. We don't want what they've got. We might want something just like it. Okay? But we don't want what they got. We don't want to take that away from them. No.
So you see, love envies not. It's not out there trying to get its own. And it goes on in verse 4, says, and love vaunteth not itself. Vaunteth. You ever use that word? Whenever I was typing this up in the bulletin and sitting back here, and my bulletin's got that whatever checks it's got on it, Man, this page was full of red. It was very, very red. And we using words here that our computer back here said, that ain't spelled right, that ain't spelled right, that ain't spelled right, that ain't. Well, vaunteth is one of those words. It's not spelled right. And when you look it up, and some of you probably got it written in front of you, it says, you're not boastful. Oh, boy. We just hit the wall. Braggart, boastful. It's bragging. Ever bragged on what you got? I have made that mistake too. I mean, I'm really proud, and that's a class A sin right there, right off the bat. Don't be proud. God can take it away from you faster than you got it. And we're to be thankful, but we're not to start bragging about it. Oh, my goodness. Anybody bragged on Georgia last week? Last week. You didn't last night. And I literally, I love college football. I really do. I enjoy it. And but I told my wife last night, whenever that game got over, I looked at her and I said, this is why I like college football. You never know what's going to happen until they play that game. And I got to be honest with you, I'm straight up. Hey, this would be my it's not political. It's my college thing opinion for the week for you. These guys are getting it wrong 100%. All them guys up there are worried about the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and they're running, oh yeah, we want to get the 4 best teams. That is not sports. It is not. The thing about sports is it's a game. You got to go out there and play that game. The best team does not always win. Did y'all know that? I've seen it. I've been there. Yeah, the best team does not always win, but it's a game. And in the game of life, you're not going to always win. Sometimes that guy over there is a dirty, rotten liar, cheat, whatever. Sometimes they win, but that's the game. And whether it's football, college football, whatever, in life itself, what you and I got to realize, we're going through life, and it's not going to be fair. Do y'all believe that? We want to teach our children, oh, you just do the best you can, and everything will work out good for you. So long as you mean it in your heart, everything will be all right. You know the classic word for that one. Thank you, brother. Hogwash. And that's a fact now. Life is not fair. Life is not always kind. Life is not always good. There's those days that are bad. And what gets me is these guys, oh, we want the 4 best teams. We want the best out there. No, you want the guys that get out there and for whatever reason. Y'all know, I don't know what happened up in Athens, Georgia last week, but they had a bad week. Because they had a bad night last night. Yeah. And I don't know if some boy's girlfriend got mad and kicked him out, or the coach's wife got mad at him and kicked him out. Or I don't know what's going on, but they had a bad week. And they weren't there last night. They were somebody else out there on that football field. Oh, these scriptures are trying to describe for you and me what love is. And even when things are not going good, we're supposed to love one another. Love does not behave itself. Well, now let me finish up verse 4. We said it doesn't vaunt itself. That means it's not bragging and boastful. But it goes on, and it's not puffed up. You ever been puffed up? You did something good. I don't care what it was. Caught a big fish. Yeah. My dad and one of his buddies from Warner Robins met me down at the lake between here and Jessup fishing one day years ago. We were catching big brim. There was some good brim in that place. We were catching some good ones. And so my dad brought one of his fishing buddies all the way down from Warner Robins, Georgia to Wayne County to go fishing. True story. If you've ever been down to Lake Grace, there's 2 boat ramps, one at the dam and one off about halfway up the lake. That little boat ramp about halfway up the lake is where we were putting and launching our boats, little boats. We were launching our little boats up there and easing out there, and we were catching good fish. My dad and his friend from Warner Robins, Georgia, backed their little boat down into the water at that middle ramp, and when they backed it off down into the water and finally got in it, and they backed it up there, and they pulled that motor rope and they cranked that motor up, a jack, you know what a jackfish is? A long, skinny, a jackfish about that long came out of the lily pad up in the air and landed in the boat with them. Boom! It's cranking the motor up. It scared the fish, and it jumped out of the water and landed in the boat. Well, while they were bragging and laughing about it, caught a bunch of fish. They went back to Warner Robins. A day or two later, I talked to my dad, and he said that his buddy who was with him, when they went back to Warner Robins, they went by the bait store and showed all them big, beautiful brims of them folks. And then the guy started bragging about that jackfish and how it jumped in the boat. And the guy told my dad after about the third place they stopped to show off the brim, he said, I ain't going to tell nobody else about that jack. I can tell they look at me like I'm a liar. It jumped in the boat. It jumped in the boat. It jumped in the boat. You lying. You just making it. No, wait a minute. Boasting. Bragging. We're puffed up. Yeah, let me tell you what it did. And I'll never forget. We've been talking about all these guys killing these deer around here. Years ago in the old building on a Sunday morning, the season opened up. I'll never forget it. I had killed a couple of deer myself on opening day. Came to church kind of puffed out, little short, small bucks. And got here, and I remember I could call about 4 names of guys in this church who had also killed deer on that day. And one guy in the church had even killed 2 with 1 shot. We was all puffed up. And in walked a 12-year-old girl. Anybody remember this? Dawn Carter. She killed, I remember, was it 10 point or 12 point? Somebody help me out. Sam, what was that thing? 10? She killed a 10 point, but we're talking about out, and all of us guys standing around looking around, and there's this little girl over here with this picture of this huge buck. And we say, well, I'll shut up now. Yeah. Boasting, bragging. No. Love doesn't do that. You just love other folks when they do it. You see all this long list of descriptions for love here. Doesn't behave unseemly. Whoa. A bunch of young ladies just got their bubbles popped about dates, didn't they? Unseemly. Love does not behave itself unseemly. It does not seek its own. Not out here just to get what I want out of life. No. It's not easily provoked. Whoa. You know what? I kind of grew up in that age group, and I know some of the men in this church where we'd be ready, we'd fight at the drop of a hat, and we'd hold a hat till we got ready to drop it. No, just puff up and bow up and get provoked and get mad and ready to fight. Crazy. And we say we love one another. It's missing. Thinketh no evil. You're not going to think the bad about them. You know what I have found out? Sometimes love is blind. Isn't it? It really is. I'm sorry. I've seen it. How many mothers in this room have at one time or another in your life been unwilling to accept what somebody else was saying about your child because you love them? And you knew they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. But they did. Blind. Love is blind. Love. Do we love each other? You love me? I didn't ask you if you like me. I said, do you love me? You realize we're commanded to love each other. Why don't we do it? Peter Lord, pastor of the First Baptist Church of Daytona years ago. He told us that one occasion he went to the women's WMU meeting. Some of them invited him, so he went. Said he was sitting in the room and a pile of ladies were in the room. And the leader of the class in discussion that night stood up and was giving some what-if scenarios and asked them, a pile of ladies from the First Baptist Church, if your daughter was to get pregnant out of marriage, who's the first person you'd want to tell? That was the question. There was a long silence, and Dr. Peter Lord said he sat there and he waited. And he said nobody said anything. And finally, after a long extended quietness, one lady spoke up and said, I really don't know who would be the first person I'd want to tell, but I know who the last one I'd want to know about it. The ladies at the church. Did y'all catch that? Because the ladies at the church, that place, were the ones who would be most condemning and most, oh, can't believe that. Oh, my. But we say we love each other. And when we got a problem, whatever the problem is, we're supposed to try to help each other. Supposed to prove that we love one another. Let's bow for prayer. Lord, help us love each other. Lord, I know you don't tell us we've got to like what we do one with another. There are those days when life is just not enjoyable, Lord. But God, you tell us to love one another. And God, I pray that we will accept this greatest commandment of all the commandments that's ever been given, loving you and loving one another. And Lord, may we do it like you want us to, so that the world will know we are different, not that we're perfect, but we really care genuinely about each other. Please, Lord, help us in that way for your glory and our good. For us in Christ's name I pray.